So here we are on our brand new dashboard page for our user. And you can see over here where it says My Stats. There are no Kahoots that have played, no questions asked, nothing. And there are a number of options here to kind of get some good introductory information. There's an intro video. There's an intro quiz you can take here. There's a PDF document which has some best practices. But the purpose of this module is really to try to simplify and streamline things for teachers that want to get set up on Kahoot right away and would like to start using it immediately. So we're going to try to simplify things. Create new Kahoot is where you want to go. And there are three different options. There's a quiz, discussion, and survey. And in short, the quiz and the survey are pretty much the exact same thing, where you can ask a host of questions, with the only difference being that during a quiz, end users can get immediate feedback after each question asked about whether or not they got it right, and then it'll update on the screen and it will show the top 5 scores inside the quiz. Whereas a survey is asking, again, a host of questions, but there is no results page after each question saying if you got it right or got it wrong. It's more for the teacher to gauge where students stand on various questions. And then, of course, discussion is really aimed at driving a discussion. So you could ask any range of questions to your students. It could even be giving students an option about what they'd like to learn that day. And you could say, would you like to talk about angle classifications in math, adding degrees to find missing angles, or would you like to review statistics and probability from the last unit? In a social studies class, a discussion might drive a question about maybe an opinion question. You could say, do you think the next president of the United States should focus more on domestic issues or international issues? And then after every student answers the question, they'll be able to kind of explain, and the class gets a chance to start a discussion based around that topic. One more thing I want to show you, because I think it's important. If I were to go to Google and say Kahoot quiz versus survey, you will see two outstanding resources for all Kahoot users. One is based at kahoot.uservoice, and the other is getkahoot.com. So just quickly, if I click on the kahoot.uservoice, you'll see this gives us a quick breakdown of the difference between a quiz, survey, and discussion. And I could go back and see various pages on their knowledge base page here, which again is located at kahoot.uservoice. It has a whole host of questions and really helpful information from users who have a lot of experience using this resource. I'm going to go back to the Google search page to show you just the blog.getkahoot site, which has news and events, tutorials, it's a user guide. Here's that pedagogy page, magic moments. If I scroll down, it's got, again, that same question where it talks about quiz, discussions, and surveys, and then it even has more videos that are really helpful. But the purpose of this module is not for us to get bogged down in all the different options. I just wanted to show you, in case you don't have the names of the websites, that those are two really helpful resources. So we're going to build a quiz today. So when I click on quiz, I'm going to call this triangle classifications and hit go. And you'll see it immediately takes me to the setup for my quiz. Here's question 1. I can add any number of questions I like. You'll see that there is a character limit here in how long my question can be. So, and you'll notice before I start typing my question, there's image and video options here, which I'll talk about in a second section here. Let's go ahead and say, what is the classification of the image shown here? What is the classification of the image shown here? And we'll make this a points question, so it's part of our quiz. And here's the time limit option: 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 30, up to longer questions. The longest you can go is 2 minutes. We'll make it a 30-second question. And now I already have a pre-saved image. If I scroll down a little bit, this is where we're going to put the image that I refer to in the question. And my image is 200 pixels by 200 pixels. You can read up more on the specifications, but I wouldn't recommend going beyond about 1,500 pixels when I create my image. And you can see, if I pull it down a little, you can see what the image is going to look like here. It's an isosceles triangle. It's actually an acute isosceles triangle. So that's the answer we're going to be looking for. And we'll call this one an equiangular triangle. You'll notice again the characters are limited here because of space considerations. That's an incorrect answer. We'll make this one our correct answer. Acute isosceles triangle. We'll make that the correct one. We'll call this obtuse scalene triangle. And you'll notice here we can also do bold, italics, subscript, superscript. And this is a really cool option that allows you, especially for a math teacher, I love this. I can add all types of symbols and currency. It's got all these great math icons to use, symbols to use. And we'll call this a right triangle. All right. And when we're done, we'll hit save and continue. And it's going to ask us about the language. We'll leave as English. There's a whole host of languages you can choose from. Public or private, we'll keep it public so that other people can use it. And we'll make this a school audience. And we'll say classify triangles based on angle and side measurements. Very good. And then we can add tags here. We'll say geometry. We'll say isosceles triangle. We could add a bunch of other tags, but this is really just to help our people out there who want to search and find our Kahoot to take our Kahoot. I'll hit save and continue, and we are now ready to. We are now ready. We're done now, and we are done with our first question in our quiz. If I want to hit play now, or if I want to preview it, or if I want to edit it, I can do all of that from this screen. So this is a way to set up our first question, and I'll show you how to make some adjustments in the next slide.